Ho, ho, ho. Many happy winter solstices to you folks out there. And our first comment, can you see that? You look at that. I know I'm in for a doozy when I see that someone took the time and invested the energy in copying and pasting all this stuff. So let's take a closer look at this, whatever this is. So this is an individual named Fiddletown 2002. And I did a video, a shorts video on this individual, which you can find hopefully up here. I'll leave a link somewhere in that corner up there. But they say, hogwash, quantum grammar is a sham and is not accepted in the real world. Hold up here though. Fiddletown is not wrong. Low key. Quantum grammar is not accepted in the real world, in the no contract world. The reason why, because RE means no and AL means contract, so real literally means no contract. It's not accepted in the real world because it creates a geometric level playing field of contract. And the fiction system, i.e. the real world, the no contract world, does not accept it because they don't want it to be fair. When have you ever known the legal system to be fair? It's absolutely, positively, 100% unfair. Un means no. Fair. No fair. Okay? And it's definitely not a sham. So let's see their evidence. Why are they saying that quantum grammar is a sham? They're giving us an example. Oh, they're providing some evidence. Let's see what their evidence is. Okay, this is all adverb, verb, adjective, pronoun, fiction, babble. Okay, look at this. Look at this right here, right here, right here. What is this? Is this what Fiddletown is offering as his or her example of quantum grammar? In the document, contract, postal vessel, court, venue, in the Indiana territory, within the federal court. Bro, that is not correct sentence structure at all. That is worse than quantum gobbledygook. In is not even a positional. Within is not even a positional. Anyways, so right off the bat, right from the get-go, this is what we would call, is this what we would call a false premise? They're basing their claim on a false premise. They're assuming, because they have no knowledge of correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar, Fiddletown has exactly jack shit knowledge of correct sentence structure. They think that that's what this is, but it's not. So it's a false premise. So whatever they're saying here, we can completely dismiss it because it has no validity, no value in the domain of fact. And then they say, thank you for demonstrating that you're not capable of participating in a substantive evidence-based discussion. Well, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Because what you perceive to be a substantive evidence-based discussion is based on a false premise. Which means what? You're walking blind through a jumping cactus patch. If you're from Arizona, you know what I'm talking about. Next comment comes from Cherish867, and they say, you cannot see the wind. You can see the result of the wind, just like you can see the results of God and other spirits and supernatural beings. JS. I don't know what JS means. But anyways, they say, or I say, I cannot see the wind, but I can feel the wind, i.e. I can certify it via one of my 5 senses. You and I can stand outside on a windy day and say, yep, it's windy. Your analogy is faulty. Allow me to expand on that, okay? A lot of people use something like this. You cannot see the wind. Yeah, but you can sense it. You and I, Cherish 867, can go outside right now and feel the wind. We can look at our phones and it says, oh yeah, the wind is 20 miles per hour. It tussles our hair. We say, what is that? What is that? What is that sensation? Oh, we'll call it wind. You and I call it wind. We certify it. Okay? What's the cause of the wind? We'd have to research that. But Cherish 867, hypothetically, will say, no, we don't need to research it because guess what? God caused the wind. And then I say, well, Cherish 867, where's this God? Can I feel it? Well, if you feel the wind, you feel God. What? You got his number on your cell phone? Can you share his contact information? Does he have an Instagram account? I mean, what can we do here? How can we certify this God? Oh, no. It's just something I thought up in my head to attribute everything good in my life to. And also everything bad in my life. But actually, that's conditional because depending upon what it is, it could also be the result of the devil. All right, you see where I'm going with this before I get too much off into La La Land, into Narnia. You see where I'm going with this. All right. Wind is certifiable via the 5 senses. The other thing, not so much. Next comment comes from XR4 Jersey. And they say, why is the word provision a tangible contract word when is has the prefix pro in front of the word vision? And then I say, to begin your study of credentialing, tangible, non-tangible contract conditions state, start here. Here's the thing. I think I know who this individual is. I think their name is Jason, and they are a member. Thank you for your membership. And they've been watching this channel for a very long time, for years, which really surprises me that they're asking this question, which tells me that maybe Jason has taken a lot of time off and they've forgotten the basics. There is only one particle of negation that negates the tangibility of a root word, and that is the suffix ly. And I've done several videos giving closure to this. The other prefixes and suffixes do not affect the tangibility or non-tangibility of a word. But again, if you go to that playlist, you'll be able to have an in-depth study of it. So then White Douglas says, how would pro make it a negative? And then I say, because pro is a particle of negation. And then they say, respect, all of this is off the record. You can syntax if you'd like. Google says otherwise, and the etymon of the word pro goes back to Latin. It means for or on behalf of. I can see confess beings negative. Why would confess be negative? CON means together. Together with the fess. So there's no way that would be negative because CON is not a particle of negation based upon the credentialing rule. You go to the earliest nativity root meaning of the particle, and whatever that is, credentials what the particle is, whether it's tangible or non-tangible, negative or positive, so on and so forth. But profess should be positive. And is it your belief that pro is a particle of negative, or can you substantiate the statement. Why would they put SUB in brackets if, okay, with the balance of the honor and the grace, I will just say that they're a beginner and they're just perhaps trying to display that they have some knowledge. But I really appreciate this individual, White Douglas 96, because they actually are coming very respectfully and with the honor and the grace. So I am not going to be cheeky with this individual at all, because I do not wish to discourage them in any way, shape, or form. Pro is a particle of negation. And in another comment, I think, which I don't know if we're going to see this comment later, I don't know if I saved it or not, but they do say, is it because it's future tense or something like that? And they're exactly right. That's why. It's a particle of negation. Any particle that negates the continuum, that negates the now space, is a particle of negation, because correct sentence structure in that context is happening right now in the continuum. Anything that negates that is a particle of negation. So that is why PRO means no. Just like it's the same thing, comes from the same thing as PRE. So then I say, actually, all of it is on record. Oh yeah, because they said all of this is off the record. And I say, actually, all of it is on record. I've recorded and publicly published over 1,000 free videos giving closure with evidence. If you're serious about this topic, contact me at jasonmatthewg17@gmail.com, and I'll set up a video consultation where you may ask me whatever grammar questions you like. Thank you. So yeah, I hope they contact me. 9.9 times out of 10, folks that get involved here, they don't ever contact me as a general rule, but there's always hope. Next comment is from, I think this is from TikTok. This is from Gubbles Gaming, and they say, sometimes you may be looking for the wrong man under an alias. Others may have more experience in fact. Oh, this has to do with the video I did about Corbis, where I was looking for an individual that I used to know, a friend that I was in communication with way back in the day when I first started this correct sentence structure journey, back then he was named Cobus. And he updated his name to Corbis. And actually, Cobus started with a K, and then Corbis starts with a C, and he gave a lot of reasons regarding numerology and things like that as to why he adjusted his name. And hey, everybody's free to do what they're going to do. But I was reaching out to him via a public video. And this guy is Gubbles Gaming. Well, actually, guy or girl, I don't know if they're a guy or girl. I keep doing that. I keep assuming, and it's wrong to assume and presume a male gender. It could be a female. But I say, I made a public video so that he may reach out if he chooses. If he is purposely in the wind, then I don't want to trespass on that purpose. Right, so if Corbis is purposely laying low, doesn't want to be bothered, I'm not going to go super sleuth and try and track him down. I mean, if I wanted to, if I really put forth all of my energy and all of my focus, Eye of Sauron type of focus on this, I could probably find him. I could probably find anybody. But I'm not, this is not about that. This is not about trespassing. I'm not about trampling on other people's privacy and confidentiality. That's why I put this out as a public video on many different platforms, on multiple platforms, so that if Corbis sees it, he can choose to reach out to me if he wants to. And I do really think that if he sees it, he will reach out to me. I really believe that. I really think that. Next comment comes from Yod Code, and they say Nephilim artificial insemination, aka immaculate conception. What in the blue hell is artificial? Do they mean artificial? Bro, even on my channel, people be coming on here who have no spelling skills. Like, they're all part of the No Child Left Behind program. I don't know. Do people just not care anymore about clear communication? I don't know. Anyways, they say Santa Claus equals Satan claustrum. Claustrum being in the center of the brain where the high frequency oil drips down different ducts of the optic nerve. I think I just left a crying, laughing face after this because, I mean, I'm sure this is a fun rabbit hole to go down with absolutely Should I do it? All right, folks. I think people are going to get screenshots of this and they're going to say this, that, or the third, but I'm doing this totally as a gag. This dude, Yod Code, which I know what Yod is, bro, okay? Yod he, Vod he, all right? But this guy's, or girl, is saying these things with absolutely zero evidence. There, I did it. Disclaimer. Any hand gestures you see have absolutely no hidden meaning. Everything is on the level. Next comment comes from TikTok. And it's from Shenanigans Clifford. And they say, "Are you loneliness, Christmas?" Obviously, yo believe in Jesus because he studied him enough to come up with an opinion. Really? So if you study something enough to come up with an opinion, it means you believe in it? Does Clifford have the Guinness World Record for leaps of assumption? Because that's quite a leap. At this point in our life, what's the harm in leaving? What's the harm in leaving what? Life? Santa was commercialized. That's interesting. Along with all of the bullshit we go through now, other than just caring about one another and being grateful for our safety. Okay, I can get with that message. I appreciate that, Clifford. For sure. Caring about one another and being grateful for our safety. 100% I'm in joinder with that concept. But as far as Santa was commercialized, then you're assuming that Santa exists. I'm guessing. I could be wrong. I told my children about Santa up until they were about 6, and then we explained what it is. We still give in to the bullshit about my present, but it's him. Okay. So, Clifford, you, my friend, are a liar. You're lying to your children. That's basically, psychologically, in my mind, that's teaching children that it's okay to lie about certain things. Which in my mind now, knowing what I know now, is absolutely not okay. It is not okay. A lie is a lie is a lie. That's one of your commandments, Clifford. Next comment comes from Instagram, from Lord Dubs, and they say, "I need to master the methodology and parse and syntax at that level." And then I say, "Apply for classes at blah, 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 if you're serious." Yeah, seriously, Lord Dubs has been a great participant on my YouTube channel. Probably he or she participates the most on the YouTube channel with comments, which I am grateful for. I'm very thankful for. And they've been watching for years. So I'm just curious, Lord Dubs, where are you at? Why aren't you taking classes? If you need to master the methodology and parse and syntax at the level I'm at, jasonmatthewg17@gmail.com. It's simple. Email me. 10 to 15 minute video consultation. Bro or lady bro, let's get it. Come on. It's a new year coming up. What are you waiting for? And the last comment comes from MCCOSEST 2024, and they say, Michigan is one-party consent for audio recording as long as you're not eavesdropping. I know because of my dealings with the family courts. Just FYI. And then I say thank you for the correction. Yes, because I said in the video you're looking at right there, the checks and balances video, I said that I thought that Michigan was a two-party consent state. Now, I'm thinking that back when it was relevant to me, back in 2013-ish, 2012-ish, 2013-ish, I'm thinking that Michigan may have been a two-party consent state, and maybe they changed it. I can't be certain, though. Not important. What is important is that I'm very grateful and have a lot of gratitude for folks like MCCOSEST who do things like this and correct me when I'm wrong and put that out there so that other folks can see this as well with all humility. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And that does it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. I was a little bit feisty here, I think. But I think people also appreciate that. You know, and it doesn't, I'm not, although I do appreciate getting more and more views, which actually I'm getting, my subscriber count keeps going up, which is awesome. I appreciate that. And I don't know what the new year brings or is going to bring. I'm just going to keep trying to do the best that I can with what I have in the limited time, the limited now space, the limited continuum that I do have left. I'm going to try to put out the best content that I can, not only make it entertaining, but also educational, which I hope this was to an extent. And I hope everybody has a happy holiday, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, happy Saturnalia, happy winter solstice, happy December, happy life, blah, blah, blah. Till the next time, que sera, sera.